it's Leanna. Today I'm going to be making Santa bread for you. What you're going to need, you're going to need 2 eggs, some coconut, red food coloring, 2 raisins, and some light colored jelly. Now we're going to take some flour. We're going to sprinkle it all upon our counter. Get it a nice little coating. I've set some dough aside to rise while we were waiting. So I'm going to go ahead, grab this, and we're going to plop it right onto our flour. Now what you're going to do is you're going to knead your dough. Once we've got it all kneaded and pretty, you're going to put it into a little formation, try and make it as even as possible. Now we're going to cut our dough into thirds. I'm going to do 1 cut and 2 cuts. And I'm only cutting 1/3 out right now because we're going to need our 2/3 to stay together. So we're going to take these apart and set this aside. Now we've got our 1/3 piece that we set aside, and we're going to split this one into 4ths. Try and make it as even as you can. It's not going to be perfect, but you know, closer the better. All right, once we've got these into 4ths, we're going to shape 2 of them into balls. So we're going to shape this one into a ball. It's not going to go into a perfect ball, but it'll be as good as it's going to get. 2 remaining quarters, we're going to flatten both of them out. These are both going to become the eyes, the mustache, and the beard, and the hat brim. Got one flattened out, set that aside, and we're going to flatten the other piece out. Just kind of stretch it out. I've got one into a rectangle, and I've got one into an elongated snake type figure. With our rectangle, we're going to cut it in 2 little sections. I'm not going to cut all the way up. I'm just going to make little cuts all along, like so. And this is going to become Santa's beard. Now that I've got this cut, I am going to lay this onto Santa on the bottom half. And we're just going to lay it right across his face. And now we got our mustache, hat brim, and eyeballs. I'm going to cut right about here for Santa's hat brim, and right about here for Santa's mustache. And these 2, or this one, is going to become 2 for the eyeballs. First, we're going to take the hat brim, and we are going to lay it about halfway down on Santa, so right about there. Then we're going to take his mustache, and we are going to do the same thing we did for the beard. All right, once we got that, what we're going to do is we're going to lay it down, and we're going to split it in half. And once we got it in half, we're going to pinch these outer edges together and lay it on Santa like so. Okay, then we've got our 2 little things. We're just going to circle them all up, make them into little balls. All right, now we've got our little balls, and we're just going to set them right here, right underneath the hat brim. Now once you've got our pieces assembled, we're going to give Santa a rest. He's taking quite a beating today, so we're just going to cover him up with some saran wrap like so, and he's just going to sit here for 15 minutes to let rise. Now we're going to whisk our egg yolks together. We are going to remove the plastic from our Santa. Take our little brusher, and we are just going to brush the beard and mustache. Don't need too much, just right on the top of his beard. Now we're going to add some red food coloring. We're just going to do a couple drops into the yolks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brush it all over his hat. All right, and what I like to do is I like to add a little bit to the tip of his nose and on his cheek. Take our 2 raisins from our bowl, and we're just going to put them right in the middle of the Santa Claus's eyes for his pupils. All right, so now we've got Santa all finished up. We're going to throw him in the oven for about 40 minutes to an hour at 400 degrees. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our apricot jam. I've melted it a little bit so it's at the right consistency for me to spread on. I'm going to go ahead and brush it on the hat brim. I'm going to take coconut, and I'm going to gently place, oops, it's all right if there's a little extra, gently place on Santa's brim so it's supposed to look like the fur. All right, now we're going to do the same for the ball of Santa's hat, and voila, you got a beautiful Santa bread ready to share with your family or your kids.